Hey everybody, wanted to come on a little bit today and just share with you what just happened in my life. As you know, my videos are always about my life to share with you. I don't want to be that other guy that is sharing with you the perfect times, the perfect shots, the perfect life, the beautiful cars, the big homes, and telling you that life is great at all times. I want to be here with you because I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to improve my life as you want to do that, right? So today I want to share with you what happened this morning between my wife and I. I had a coaching call this morning with two clients, and after that we decided to go out and grab a coffee just to quickly, cut our morning, give us a little bit of a break. And we went and supported our local coffee store here where we usually used to go and have breakfast. Now everything is takeaway, as you know, or perhaps in the part of the world where you live, everything is shut down. You can't even go for takeaway. Here we're still lucky that we can do that. So we went there and grabbed a coffee and came back. And when we came back, we stopped in the front of the house, inside the car, and actually had this coffee and started talking about our life, about who we are today and how we actually got here. And one topic that came out from my wife was, the part that we missed out on having our own kids. And I'm going really raw with you now. Again, to tell you and to show you that my life isn't any different as yours, and my things that I go through might not be exactly the same as yours, but they're connected in some way. Okay, so we had this incredible chat about us not having kids. I'm turning 51 this year. My wife is going to turn 49 this year. So it's not that we are old, and it's not that we couldn't have any kids now. But one thing that that came through our chat was how, this situation really hurts my wife. Really something that, she called it, if it's, one regret, the one regret she has in her life, that is not having had kids, So this chat wasn't only about that, but also it allowed us to go back in our times, especially in my times, right? Where I really, through this discussion, through this conversation, it really got me to think about how my life was 10, 12 years ago, and, I was living with depression and anxiety. There was no way for me to think about putting a family together, to get a kid into this world with the way I was. At the time I didn't know what to offer this kid. This is how raw I want to be with you today. I didn't know what could I have given to, how could I have guided this kid? So at the time I took a decision, perhaps very selfish decision, to not have kids, right? And as much as with my wife, we kind of thought about it, talked about it at the time, it was really more about me. So today, talking about it, it really made me feel that, how she missed out on something very important to her, right? And this video isn't about exposing this, but more about sharing with you the importance of talking about things that we think are sorted. We think they're out of the way. We think that, I got this, I worked on that, it's not bothering me anymore. But when we open up the can, there are things in there that needed to come out. And don't get me wrong, we had a cry in that car. We did have a cry in that car. And I felt her pain. And today at 51, I feel I would love to have a kid. I'd love to be a dad. And I know my wife would be an amazing mother. Is it too late? Is it ever too late? So I guess this discussion opened up something for us to think about. But also it brought a lot of healing. And it connected us even more. See, people ask me all the time, how do you guys have such an incredible relationship? How are you guys so strongly together? Let me tell you a secret here. 3 years ago, we nearly split. 3 years ago, we nearly let it all go. We were done. We were disconnected. But then we found that it wasn't because the marriage wasn't working. It was more because we were not working the marriage. See, so when we talk about things, we get to understand them. We get to heal. We get to connect. And that's how we grow. That's the only way you grow. By exposing, by being raw, being honest. And, don't get me wrong, I see my own selfishness back in 10, 12 years' time. But hey, 10, 12 years' time, I was quite selfish. I was focused on my depression and my anxiety, on all the things that, didn't work out in my life, about my abandonment, about my sexual abuse and all that stuff. I wasn't able to let it go. I didn't give myself the time to actually dive into what was holding me back. Thank God eventually I did, and I was able to heal from my depression and anxiety. And that's why I say to my clients and to people that I speak to, anxiety and depression isn't a life sentence, and you can't get out of it. But you have to be able and allow yourself and have the courage to expose them. And today this discussion, as much as it was painful, and I felt the pain of my wife, and I felt responsible for that pain, but it allowed us to connect. It allowed us to grow. It allowed us to know even more about each other. And sometimes in a relationship, when we start a relationship, how are you? You present yourself the best way possible, right? You clean yourself up, you dress yourself in a certain way, you smell nice, you present yourself. What do you do then? Then you take it for granted. And it feels like you don't have to do that no more. You take yourself off the market, right? And then people complain why their relationship don't work. Because they are not working their relationship. So today for us was an incredible moment of having a look at our life. Having a look at what we perhaps missed out on, but what we learned. So I invite you to expose the things that are inside, to put them out there, to enter a conversation with the people that matter to you. If you want them to be more connected to yourself, or you want to connect with them. Or even if it's not about connection, but if it's something that is inside of you that hasn't been worked on, expose it, talk about it, share it. And you learn so many things. You learn so many things that will allow you to move on. It will allow you to adjust. You allow yourself to grow and to perhaps call your bullshit, like I had to this morning. So perhaps I wasn't not ready to be a father 10, 12 years ago. Maybe I was scared to take on such an important role. Being very raw here. Maybe it was just an excuse to not grow up. What about that? It's a great day. It's a great day. In nature, you either grow or you die. It's the same thing as human beings. We are part of nature. We are nature. If you don't grow, you die. I invite you to grow. I invite you to grow. So, that's my story for the day. I hope it makes any sense. I hope it gets you to think and to perhaps take some action. Whatever that is in your life. I'm going to leave you with that. And I wish you well and I hope you're safe. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.